Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to give you another little update on Raya. I was hoping not to do it as soon because I just posted the other one, but unfortunately she took kind of a dive today and I wanted to bring you guys along on the journey of whatever happens with her. Raya was doing really well. She was active, she was eating, she was alert, and she seemed like she was making improvement. But today I found her laying on the opposite side of her tank that she usually is, and she had been there all day, so I checked on her, and she seemed a little more lethargic than usual. So I picked her up, I fed her a worm, which she only took one. She usually, last time I fed her, she took more than that. And she was just not acting like her normal self. Not that she's normal right now, but normal for what she usually is. So I took her and she wasn't eating the worm, so I tried to feed her some of that Reptiboost from the other video I showed you, and she did not even want to open her mouth to let me get that in. So I was a little bit worried. She also has some skin issues. She's shedding, but the shed isn't exactly ready to come off yet, but it's still causing issues. It's kind of hard to describe, but that's another issue I was worried about, so we are going to call the emergency vet today. Alright guys, so if you follow me on Instagram, then you know that my foster leopard gecko Raya passed away a couple weeks ago. There were several reasons for this that I will go into further detail about. Nova, what do you do? Nova, don't eat my hair. Nova's shedding, so that's why she's gray on her body and orange on her tail. So yeah, lizards don't all shed in pieces. Anyway, back on track. So Raya was doing pretty well, as I said. She was eating, she was improving quite a bit, but I made the decision to call a vet because she was just took a nosedive and wasn't doing well. And she just didn't look right, so we called them, and they would have been able to see her tomorrow. So I was like, okay, we'll schedule an appointment for tomorrow. And I checked on her after the call, and she was not moving when I picked her up. She was in the same spot I placed her last time, and I was very concerned. So I checked her over, and unfortunately, she had passed away. So what I did was, we were about to go on vacation, so we buried her, and I posted on Instagram, and I have just now been able to make this video because I was on vacation for a while. So yeah, sorry for the wait about that, but basically, of course, she had metabolic bone disease, which we were already aware of, and she may have also had some sort of underlying condition that I was not aware of. She may have had some kind of parasites, and if you watched my video on classroom pets and the importance of not keeping them, then you heard the story of the other leopard gecko there who probably had parasites. We had to take that one to the vet because our school refused to. The vet didn't really do any parasite tests. They just gave him an IV and said, okay, he's good to go. But we were feeding him for a long time and he hadn't gained anyway, so I was a little bit concerned. But Raya, I just thought she had MBD, so it was kind of hard to see other issues. Luckily, I did have her quarantined away from all of my reptiles, so if she did have any parasites, then there is not a risk of being transmitted to my reptiles. So I was definitely glad I was being cautious and keeping her away from my animals so that they had no risk of coming into contact with her parasites. And I'm not entirely sure if she did, but her skin issues could also have contributed, but you know, that may have also had to do with her diet and the fact that she was only ever fed dried insects, because dried insects do not have very much nutritional value, and they are not a good diet for leopard geckos or really any animals in general. They can be supplemented if you don't have any food. You can see I've got some dried insects up there right now for Nova, but I don't use those on a daily basis. I use them when she runs out of crickets for a long period of time, which does not happen often, but if for some reason we can't go to the store, then we use those. But that should not be a normal diet for them, which was for her, which could have contributed for sure. So the parasites may have been what caused it, but this is just something that you can learn from when you are dealing with this sort of thing, and something that's really important to learn from, because you learn from your mistakes and then you have to move on and, in my case, help more animals that may have the same issues as her, but help them in a different way. It's just something this is just something you can run into when you're fostering animals that you haven't seen before and you choose to take in. I had seen pictures of Raya when I agreed to take her in, but I didn't realize how bad she actually was until I got her, and it was really sad when I got her. Sorry about that. Yeah, it's just something you have to look out for in animals, especially if you are getting your animal for a pet, say on Craigslist, which, like this video, if you think I should do a video on shopping on Craigslist and the do's and don'ts about that. Just, if you are looking for a pet animal and you're getting it online, or you're not getting it from a breeder where you have seen it before, you want to ask for a lot of pictures, and you want to make sure that you know exactly what situation the animal is in, so you're not surprised with a sick animal. And you always want to quarantine animals, even if they look healthy. Reptiles can hide illnesses pretty easily, so you always want to be quarantining animals that you first get, especially if you have a reptile collection already. You always want to quarantine them so that there's no risk of spreading to your animals. Sadly, this happens, and it's not always the seller's fault. Sometimes they just don't see, and the reptiles have hidden the illness for a while. But in this case, Raya just had no proper feeding or enclosure or really anything she should have had. I have a leopard gecko care guide if you would like to learn how to properly take care of a leopard gecko. It's on medium.com. You can find that on my link tree, linked in my Instagram bio and my YouTube bio. I just want to say that this is something that a lot of people can learn from, including me. But if you're fostering animals, if you're interested in fostering animals, always make sure you are comfortable taking in a rescue before you do. I felt comfortable with this, but unfortunately it didn't work out the way I planned, which sometimes happens. Not everything in fostering animals is going to be a happy ending, unfortunately, but sometimes that's just how it goes, and you gotta learn from it and keep going. So that's what I'm gonna do. By the way, if you're interested, Coco is actually going up on my website very soon. I am working on it. I'm in the process of getting her up on my website. So if you're interested, make sure to look out for that. And I will definitely be announcing that soon. I will also be announcing whenever I get any new fosters, so you guys always know the first time if you are interested in them. In Coco's case, she does not have any issues. She had some shedding issues originally because of improper humidity in her enclosure, but now I have fixed that. She is completely fine. She does have some shell deformities because of that, just some missing scutes because of her shedding issues, but other than that, she is a completely healthy tortoise. She is adorable, and I cannot wait for her to go to her forever home. So if you're interested, definitely go check out my website when she is up and fill out a form so she can be adopted. That is a case of a happy ending, and when that enclosure on the bottom is free, she will be at her new home, and I will have more time to take care of any other rescues that come my way. So that's one of the great things about fostering, is that an animal goes to its new home and then you have more room to save another animal in need. So that's the part I love about rescuing, even though sometimes it doesn't go the way you planned, just like Raya. But in the end, if you're gonna keep doing it, you're gonna come across cases like this, and it's really good to learn from them and just to keep going and keep helping every animal that you can. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to go check out my website, and if you follow me on Instagram, check out my links in my bio so you can find my website and my care guides and all of that fun stuff. All right, thanks guys. Bye.